Power has rules, and if you do not understand them, someone else may use them on you.
Most people do not lose power in one dramatic moment. They lose it in small ways. They explain too much. They react too quickly. They trust the wrong person too early. They show anger before they understand the room. They say yes when they want to say no. They reveal their plans to people who do not deserve access, and then they wonder why they feel ignored, used, or underestimated. The uncomfortable truth is this: power has rules, and whether you study those rules or ignore them, other people are still playing by them. The book, The 48 Laws of Power, became famous because it said the quiet part out loud. Human beings are not always fair. Groups are not always honest. People do not always reward the kindest person, the smartest person, or the person with the best intention. Sometimes they reward the person who understands timing, the person who understands reputation, the person who can control their emotions, the person who knows when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to walk away. But this video is not about becoming manipulative. That is the lazy interpretation. The real point is not to control everyone around you. The real point is to understand the game clearly enough so you stop being controlled by people who already understand it. Because power is not always loud. Sometimes power is quiet. Sometimes power is patience. Sometimes power is not reacting. Sometimes power is keeping your next move private. Sometimes power is refusing to beg for a seat at a table where people are already enjoying your desperation. In this video, we will go through 10 lessons about power, influence, respect, and human nature. Not so you can become cruel, not so you can become fake, but so you can become harder to use, harder to shake, and harder to ignore. Lesson 1. Power starts with self-control. The first rule of power is not controlling other people. It is controlling yourself. Imagine a chess player who gets angry every time they lose a piece. They slam the table. They shout. They rush their next move. They stop thinking about the whole board because they are too busy reacting to one moment. That player is easy to beat, not because they are stupid, but because their emotions tell the opponent exactly where to attack. This is what happens in real life too. When someone can make you angry on command, they have influence over you. When someone can make you explain yourself for hours, they have influence over you. When someone can make you panic, chase, beg, or overreact, they have found your remote control. Most people think power means having a strong personality, but real power often looks calm. It looks like pausing before replying. It looks like not sending the angry message. It looks like letting someone reveal who they are without rushing to correct them. Here is the trap. Many people confuse honesty with emotional leakage. They think, if I feel it, I must show it. If I think it, I must say it. If I am hurt, I must prove I am hurt right now. But not every feeling deserves the microphone. Some feelings need time. Some feelings need distance. Some feelings need strategy. This does not mean you become cold. It means you stop giving every person immediate access to your nervous system. Here's what this means for you. Before you react, ask one question. What does this reaction give away? If your reaction gives away your fear, your insecurity, your desperation, or your anger, pause. Take the power back first, then decide what to do. The person who cannot control themselves will always be controlled by the room. Lesson 2. Attention is a weapon. What you give attention to becomes stronger. Imagine you are feeding a stray dog outside your house. At first it comes once, then it comes again. Then more dogs come. Not because they hate you, because they learned that your door gives food. Attention works the same way. Some people do not want truth. They want reaction. They want to know they can still pull you into their drama. They want to see if their words can still move your emotions. And every time you react, explain, defend, or chase, you feed the pattern. Powerful people understand that attention is not free. Attention is currency. Where you place it, you invest your energy. Where you remove it, you remove fuel. This is why silence can be stronger than arguing. Not always, but often, because some arguments are not designed to solve anything. They are designed to trap you inside someone else's chaos. Here is the trap. Most people think they must respond to everything. Every comment, every insult, every misunderstanding, every fake story, every person who tries to provoke them, but responding to everything makes you predictable. And predictable people are easy to control. If someone knows exactly what button to press and exactly how you will react, they do not need strength. They only need access. Here's what this means for you. Choose what deserves your attention. Not every message needs a reply. Not every accusation needs a defense. Not every person deserves a front row seat in your mind. Before you respond, ask this: is this worth my energy? Or is this just bait? Sometimes the most powerful move is not a better argument. Sometimes the most powerful move is starving the wrong thing. Lesson 3. Never look too hungry. Desperation lowers your value before you even speak. Imagine walking into a shop where the seller keeps saying, please buy this, I really need you to buy this. Even if the product is good, something feels off. You start wondering why they are so desperate. You start thinking, maybe you can negotiate harder. Maybe you can take your time. Maybe they need you more than you need them. That is how people read desperation. In friendships, in dating, in business, in school, at work, in social groups, when you look too hungry for approval, people feel it. When you need to be chosen too badly, people feel it. When you need a reply too badly, people feel it. When you need respect too badly, people feel it. And sadly, not everyone responds with kindness. Some people respond by testing how much they can take. This does not mean you should act arrogant. Arrogance is often just desperation wearing sunglasses. Real confidence is different. Real confidence says, I care, but I am not begging. I am interested, but I am not available for disrespect. I want the opportunity, but I still have self-respect if I do not get it. Here is the trap. People think being eager is always good, and sometimes it is. Effort matters. Kindness matters. Showing interest matters. But when interest becomes neediness, the energy changes. You stop choosing. You start chasing. And the person who chases too hard often hands the other person the power to set the price. Here's what this means for you. Practice calm interest. Apply for the opportunity. Send the message. Make the offer. Ask the question. But do not collapse if the answer is no. Do not keep knocking on a door that is clearly being held shut. Do not trade your dignity for a little attention. Want things. Work for things. But never let wanting turn you into someone people can play with. Power grows when you can walk away without falling apart. Lesson 4. Reputation moves before you do. Before you enter the room, your reputation enters first. Imagine a restaurant. You have never eaten there before, but 5 people tell you the food is amazing. Before you even sit down, you expect quality. Now imagine 5 people tell you the place is dirty, slow, and careless. Before you even see the menu, you are already suspicious. That is reputation. It creates expectations before the truth arrives. In life, people are constantly building a picture of you, not from one big speech, from patterns. How you speak, how you handle pressure, whether you keep promises, whether you gossip, whether you exaggerate, whether you blame others, whether you disappear when things get hard, whether your words and actions match. Powerful people protect reputation because they understand something simple. Trust takes time to build, but suspicion arrives quickly. One careless moment can become the story people repeat. That may not be fair, but it is real. Here is the trap. Many people only care about reputation after they need it. They act careless for months. Then suddenly, want to be taken seriously? They keep breaking small promises. Then feel shocked when people doubt their big promises. They talk badly about everyone. Then wonder why nobody trusts them with private information. Reputation is not built when you need help. It is built before you need help. Here's what this means for you. Pick 3 words you want people to associate with you. Maybe calm, reliable, sharp, kind, disciplined, creative, honest. Then ask yourself, do my daily actions prove those words? If not, start there. Keep small promises. Be careful with gossip. Do good work when nobody is clapping. Admit mistakes without making a whole drama out of it. Your reputation is your shadow. It follows you into rooms you have not entered yet. Lesson 5. Words can build power or destroy it. Every sentence is a tool. Some words build trust. Some words create confusion. Some words make you look calm. Some words make you look desperate. Some words open doors. Some words burn bridges you still need to cross. Imagine a person holding a glass cup. Every careless sentence is like tapping the glass with a tiny hammer. 1 tap may not break it. 2 taps may not break it. But enough careless words create cracks. And once the glass breaks, saying sorry does not always put it back the same way. This is why powerful people are careful with language. They do not say everything they know. They do not promise what they cannot deliver. They do not explain more than the moment requires. They do not reveal their entire plan just because someone asked with confidence. They understand that words travel. Words are repeated. Words are twisted. Words become receipts. Here is the trap. Many people speak to reduce discomfort. Silence feels awkward, so they fill it. Someone questions them, so they over-explain. Someone doubts them, so they reveal too much. Someone gets angry, so they make promises they cannot keep. In the moment, talking feels safe, but later those words can become a cage. Here's what this means for you. Speak with more intention. Before saying something important, ask yourself, is this true? Is this necessary? Is this the right time? Is this the right person? You do not need to become mysterious for no reason, but you do need to stop handing out your thoughts like free samples at a supermarket. Some things are more powerful when they are kept private until the right moment. A person who controls their words controls the shape of their presence. Lesson 6. People respect what they cannot fully predict. If people can predict everything you will tolerate, they will test the edges. Imagine a fence around a house. If the fence is strong, people know where the boundary is. If the fence keeps moving, breaking, and disappearing, people start walking through the garden. Not always because they are evil. Sometimes because humans test limits. They test what is allowed. They test what gets ignored. They test what happens when they push a little further. This is why boundaries matter. But here is the part people miss. A boundary is not what you announce. A boundary is what you enforce. You can say, "Do not disrespect me," 100 times. But if you stay every time disrespect appears, the real message is different. You can say, "I value my time." But if you always accept last-minute nonsense, the real message is different. You can say, "I do not like drama." But if you keep feeding drama, the real message is different. Powerful people are not respected because they constantly threaten people. They are respected because people understand there are limits. Clear limits. Quiet limits. Consistent limits. Here is the trap. Many people think being nice means being endlessly available. They think love means no boundaries. They think friendship means always saying yes. They think keeping peace means swallowing every small insult. But peace without boundaries is not peace. It is quiet resentment. And resentment always leaks out eventually. Here's what this means for you. Choose one boundary you need to make real, not 10. 1. Maybe you stop replying instantly to people who only contact you when they need something. Maybe you stop laughing at jokes that disrespect you. Maybe you stop saying yes when your body and mind are already saying no. Then enforce it calmly. No speech, no big performance, just consistent action. People do not respect the boundary you describe. They respect the boundary you live. Lesson 7. Timing beats force. The right move at the wrong time can still fail. Imagine planting a seed. The seed might be healthy. The soil might be good. But if you plant it during the wrong season, then blame the seed for not growing. You have misunderstood the problem. Some things need timing. Powerful people understand this. They do not rush every conversation. They do not force every decision. They do not reveal every idea too early. They watch the room. They notice when people are open. They notice when people are defensive. They notice when pressure will work and when pressure will backfire. Most people are too impatient for this. They want the answer now, the apology now, the result now, the respect now, the opportunity now. So they push harder. But pushing harder is not always power. Sometimes it is panic. Here is the trap. People confuse movement with progress. They think if they are doing something, they are moving forward. But sometimes the smartest move is waiting, preparing, observing, letting people show their real position, letting the situation become clearer. This does not mean doing nothing forever. That is not patience. That is avoidance, wearing a nice coat. Real timing means you are still awake, still watching, still preparing, but you are not forcing the door before the lock turns. Here's what this means for you. Before making a big move, ask this: is this the right action? And is this the right time? If the action is right, but the timing is wrong, prepare. If the timing is right, but your action is unclear, think. If both are right, move. Power is not always speed. Sometimes power is knowing when the moment has finally arrived. Lesson 8. Emotions reveal your weak points. Your strongest reaction often points to your most sensitive wound. Imagine a security system in a building. If one door triggers the alarm every time someone walks near it, everyone learns something. That door matters. That door is sensitive. That door might be the way in. People work the same way. If you explode every time someone questions your intelligence, they learn that intelligence is your trigger. If you panic every time someone pulls away, they learn that abandonment is your trigger. If you become desperate every time someone ignores you, they learn that attention is your trigger. If you become defensive every time someone criticizes your work, they learn that pride is your trigger. This is not about judging yourself. Everyone has weak points. Everyone has old fears. Everyone has something that hurts faster than it should. But if you do not know your weak points, other people can discover them before you do. And that is dangerous. Here is the trap. Most people focus only on the person who triggered them. They say, that person made me angry. That person embarrassed me. That person disrespected me. Sometimes that is true, but the deeper question is more useful. Why did that specific thing hit so hard? Because when you understand the wound, you stop letting random people control the alarm. Here's what this means for you. Track your strongest reactions for 1 week. Not every emotion, just the big ones. When you overreact, feel embarrassed, get jealous, panic, or become angry, write down 1 sentence. What did this moment make me afraid of? Afraid of being rejected. Afraid of being ignored. Afraid of looking stupid. Afraid of losing control. Afraid of not being enough. That sentence is information. And information gives you power. The weak point you understand becomes harder for others to use. Lesson 9. Power is often hidden in silence. Silence makes people reveal more than pressure does. Imagine muddy water in a glass. If you keep shaking it, it stays cloudy. But if you set it down and wait, the dirt slowly settles. Then you can see clearly. Many situations are like that. When you rush to speak, rush to accuse, rush to explain, or rush to fix everything, you keep shaking the glass. You create more noise, more emotion, more confusion. But silence gives things time to settle. People reveal themselves in silence. They reveal what they really want. They reveal whether they respect you. They reveal whether they are honest. They reveal whether they only liked you when you were useful. This is why silence can feel uncomfortable. Because silence removes the performance. It creates space. And in that space, the truth often walks in. Here is the trap. Many people use words to escape uncertainty. They cannot wait. They cannot let a message sit. They cannot let someone be wrong about them. They cannot let silence exist without filling it. So they explain, then explain again, then explain so much that they look less powerful than when they started. You do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not need to correct every misunderstanding immediately. You do not need to rescue every awkward silence. Here's what this means for you. Practice the pause. When someone says something provocative, pause. When someone asks a question that feels like a trap, pause. When you feel pressure to answer immediately, pause. You can say, "Let me think about that." You can say, "I will get back to you." You can say nothing for a moment. That tiny pause protects you from becoming a puppet for the moment. Silence is not weakness. Used well, silence is a filter. It separates noise from truth. Lesson 10. The real goal is freedom, not control. The highest form of power is not controlling everyone. It is not needing to. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack full of other people's opinions. One pocket has the need to impress. One pocket has fear of rejection. One pocket has old embarrassment. One pocket has the need to win every argument. One pocket has the desire to prove everyone wrong. At first, the backpack feels normal. Then one day you realize you are tired not because the road is impossible, but because you are carrying things that were never yours to carry. This is where people misunderstand power. They think power means domination. They think it means always winning, always being feared, always being untouchable. But that kind of power can become another prison. Because now, you must keep performing, keep defending, keep controlling, keep proving. Real power is lighter than that. Real power is being able to leave situations that shrink you. Real power is not needing applause from people you do not respect. Real power is choosing your response instead of being dragged by emotion. Real power is knowing your value without begging others to confirm it. Real power is being kind without being naive, open without being careless, ambitious without being desperate, calm without being passive, strong without becoming cruel. Here is the trap. People who feel powerless often dream of controlling others. But control is not the same as freedom. If your whole life becomes a reaction to people who hurt you, they are still at the center of your story. Even if you win, you are still orbiting them. The better goal is different. Build a life where fewer people can pull you away from yourself. Here's what this means for you. Ask one question. Where am I giving away power for no good reason? Maybe you give it away through over-explaining. Maybe through chasing. Maybe through react. Maybe through gossip. Maybe through needing everyone to understand you. Maybe through staying in rooms where your self-respect keeps getting smaller. Choose one place. Take your power back there first. Not with revenge. Not with drama. With clarity. With with distance, with better choices, with self-control. This whole video comes down to one thing. Power is not about becoming someone people fear. Power is about becoming someone people cannot easily control. You do not need to become cold. You do not need to become manipulative. You do not need to treat life like a battlefield every day. But you do need to understand that human nature has patterns. People test limits. People respect confidence. People notice desperation. People remember reputation. People use your reactions as information. And people often reveal the truth when you stop rushing to fill the silence. So start small. Control one reaction. Protect one boundary. Keep one plan private. Pause before one emotional reply. Walk away from one situation that keeps making you smaller. Because power is not built only in big public moments. It is built in private choices. The message you do not send. The insult you do not chase. The promise you keep. The silence you allow. The boundary you finally enforce. The room you finally leave. That is where quiet power begins. And once you understand the rules, you do not have to play blindly anymore. You can move with awareness. You can choose with more calm. You can protect your energy. You can stop handing people the buttons to your mind. And you can become the kind of person who does not need to shout to be taken seriously. If this video helped you see power differently, subscribe for more big ideas, psychology lessons, and practical explainers that help you see life differently.